What's up, guys? Geronimo22. Gonna just give you guys a little bit of a quick video about how to play corners over or visiting corner or man align. Those are all the same thing, okay? And it's a terminology that's been used from back in the day, Wade Phillips system, when he wanted to play cover three or if he wanted to play cover four and he wanted to hide his coverage, okay? He wanted to make it look like cover one. So, as you see here, this is the official playbook that we had, and it talks about disguise, okay? Um, a cross look with the corners off or pressed, okay? That's how we started. And then the travel rules below, it says strong safety to tight end, free safety away, corners right and left, and then it says match slot formations, okay? So we actually ran over when there was a slot formation, all right? So let me just jump on to the next part of this and actually just show you some of these pictures that we had in our install. Okay, so what we have here on the screen, it's pretty generic. We're going up against our pro set, and what you see is our corners, right? They're playing left and right, okay? Safety rotates down in cover three, in this case to the tight end side, and we're playing ball. Spot drop cover three. Pretty simple. Let's go to the next page. Okay, so now you see that we have a slot formation, two backs in the backfield. And what do we get? The slot corner comes over. Okay. So he becomes the force player. All right. And then also he becomes a curl flat dropper. Let me show you on the next page here. We have some of the rules. Okay. I'm not going to zoom in. I'm just going to leave it like this for now, but it's real simple. Our corner, sorry about that. Our corner is playing curl flat. Okay, so that's really interesting. We had to teach our corners, safety drills, and they had to work curl flat drops. Okay, but it's really good if a team came out in slot formation or if they motioned over, you would get that look. Which what does what in a real simple way. You don't know if I'm in man or zone. Okay, so that's one of the advantages of doing that. Our backside safety would play 1/3, right? No different positioning, body position than he would be if we were playing man to man. So that was one of the things that we did. Now let's take a look at it versus cover four. Okay, so we are in cover four, and this is four check. This is what motivated me to go back and take a look at this because yesterday I made a mistake. I thought it was cover four, cover six. It was actually cover four or cover eight. Okay, cover eight was our version of playing two man or two buster. Okay, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. So again, our travel rules, right? Corners align left and right, but then they match all slot formations. Okay. So it's another way we're playing quarters coverage, but they may not know that we're in quarters coverage. They might think it's man to man. All right. So take a look down here at the bottom, right? We got a slot formation. You see how the corner's over there. All right. We're playing in the Madden world. This is kind of similar to playing cover nine, just out of base personnel. All right. We're pretty much trying to play like a two trap over here. Okay. And then over here, we're just playing half field. Okay. So that's just how we do it against, how we did it in real life. And the great thing about this kind of carried over. I don't have the drawings right now, but this did carry over to our nickel stuff. So when we were in nickel versus formations like 3x1 nub, we would actually play cover eight to it and get to that look where the corner, both corners and the nickel are all lined over the three wide receivers. Okay. I just don't have any drawings of it right now. But what I'm trying to get to is actually in the Madden world, okay? Is that in the Madden world, let me try this something out real quick. In the Madden world, we have something called, 1 second. We have man align, right? So people have probably tried this man align in the past and it really doesn't work well because the assignments aren't really correct. So when we jump on a Madden field, I'm going to show you a way that maybe only two adjustments you would need to try to get that type of simulated Wade Phillips style of having the corners come over and play cover three. You only need two adjustments. You can get that done. But then also, I'm going to come out with just a different way of doing things. So sorry, guys, who want everything to be super sim, but I do have an adjustment that makes sense to the Madden world, allows us to get lined up in a sound fashion, and has us able to take away the dreaded bubble routes that you see from 3x1 and by 2x1 formations. Okay. So being slot formations or any type of 3x1 nub formations. Okay. And also regular 3x1 formations. Okay. So we're going to take a look at that. That's going to be a little bit different. It may not be super sim, but it'll make sense in the Madden world. Sometimes you got to step outside the box in order to have success. All right. I'll see you on the Madden field in the next part of the video. Okay, guys, we're on the Madden field. I'm going to make this a short version of the video. I made this video 2 months ago for the guys on Patreon, and it's 45 minutes long. So I'm going to make this a lot less than that. Let's just take a look at good old slot formation. All right. And it doesn't matter what front you're in, but definitely if you think about doing this, just make sure you check your favorite fronts that you like to work out of and make sure it works with your fronts. Okay. Right now, I'm just happen to be in a 3-4, I mean, a 4-3 playbook, matches on. Okay. And let's just take a look at obviously cover one versus slot formation. So this is how cover one looks versus slot formations, right? The corners come over and they match. And anybody who likes to play football from an offensive point of view, day one-on-one learning is, hey, if you want to find out if they're in man or zone, come out in a slot formation, come out in two backs and put both of your corners, put both of your receivers on one side. If the corners are over, it's man to man. Okay. If you come out in the same formation and it's cover three, the corners will not come over. The corners will stay on either side and you will get a tell that it's zone, correct? So here we're in cover three. Gibson is my free safety, all right? And my corner on the right side of the screen is over here. So that's an easy tell. A lot of people have learned this, and this is how they try to find out if you're in man or zone. Okay. Just a side note, this is part of the reason why I feel like a lot of teams, even against 21 personnel, they are coming out in nickel sets, right? Because even just your normal nickel set, you can't really tell because of what? The nickel. So when the nickel's out there, you don't know if this is man or zone. This could be cover one or it could be cover three because we have an extra DB on the field. All right. So just think about that. That's something why a lot of people run nickel nowadays to try to help against not letting people know what you're in. But let's go back to the Wade Phillips scheme. So if we go into our auto alignments, okay, we have default, which keeps your corners right and left. We have base align, which everybody knows what that is. We also have something called man align, okay? Man align does exactly what Wade Phillips tried to do when it came to disguise. So we know how it looked in cover three. And let me go back and just pick cover three. Again, cover three sky against a slot formation. And as you see here, nope, we don't have the safety over here anymore. We have the corner. Okay, so both my corners are aligned to the slot formation. So we have achieved that first goal. Now, you're probably looking at this and saying, what the hell's going on with the assignments on the field? And I feel like when they put this in the game, 8, 9, 10 years ago, they still haven't fixed this part of the game, which is really sad. Okay. If anybody knows how to fix this nice and easy, please let me know. I might have overlooked it. Sometimes it's little tips and tricks, but I don't have one. But this coverage is really easy against this formation. All you have to do is just make two adjustments here. Is just take this player, take your inside corner and put him into a curl flat, okay? And take your outside, take your safety, your strong safety, and just put him into something deep, okay? I like the deep half. That's pretty much where I think it's the best. He's going to end up playing in the same position as it was. I'm sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing here. As if it's a deep third, okay? Just so you know, and I won't spend too much time on it, I'll talk about this in my video on Patreon again. I'll make another video there. This player right here treated this like a deep half in real life. I coached the safeties and we had something that was called basically like a foot 10 technique. It was basically playing deep half. Okay. You didn't have to treat this like a deep third. A lot of times, if we didn't get any work or we didn't get a 7 route, a corner route, we were trying to help out and we were pushing over here to help out to the middle of the field anyway. So don't worry about that. This is not authentic, a deep third. It doesn't really matter. Okay. But this is aligned correctly. So you can actually do this and come out and just play this defense and just make those adjustments. All right. Other little quick adjustments you can make, you can actually manually press your guys, right? You can take your corners, you can play zone, you can make it look like man to man. All right. So if I was calling cover one and cover three a lot in my system, which is what a lot of what Schwartz does, and also a lot of what Wade Phillips does, obviously, then you can make them look the same. Okay. I'll give you more detail in the long form video on maybe how to make the disguise even better. But I just want to get those main facts away. Now, let's talk about the good old bubble routes. All right. Let's just go there. So I think it's well known by now that bubble routes can be stopped with a man assignment player covering the bubble route. Okay. And the reason why is usually the man assignment player does not have a run fit. Okay. So any players the guys that are a man on wide receivers or anybody that's removed from the core in offense usually doesn't have a run fit when you're in man to man. Okay. So that will stop any of the bubble plays that happen. Okay. That's what makes that guy come back inside, because if he has any type of run fit, he's caught in a conflict and he would come back inside. Okay. So so I just went back and I wanted to just call the play over again. We are in man align to start. We're not going to play man though. We're going to play zone. Okay. So we're in zone. All right. And we talk about what's going on in the field. As soon as we put our corner into a curl flat, okay, and we take our safety and we put him back into a deep half. Now this corner, trust me, you got to look at it a few times. It doesn't always show, but this corner is in a run fit. If you look at it on the first try, it says that he's not in a run fit, but he is. So it's a little bit glitchy because he was originally a deep third player, and he would not have been part of the primary fits. And the first time you click on it, it actually showed that he wasn't part of a run fit, but he actually is on runaway. Okay, so this would not be good versus bubble, right? So even if I do press the guy, actually I won't press him for now, but right now this corner's playing third. We are stuck in the same predicament that we usually are, where the corner comes running in and they throw a bubble outside, right? So that's not good. Well, here comes the adjustment. And when you are a match-based team in real life, you do this a lot. So people who are a fan of match teams, Jim Schwartz is a match guy. When it comes to cover three match, even though we are playing cover three, we can essentially just take these two players and put them in man to man if we want. Okay. And let's just get that safety back playing deep half. We can play man to man to this side, all right, of the field. We can do that. Anytime we get certain formations like twins, like slot or stacks, that's one of the adjustments that a lot of people make. Now, this formation, you wouldn't even have to really do all of what I just said. Let me just flip this real quick. You could just leave the corner. He's going to be playing mod technique, which means man over depth. He would take the number one receiver if he goes vertically down the field. If he runs something shallow, he will let him go. But we can get away with potentially running just man to man on the slot, okay? And then just getting this backside adjustment and playing our coverage like this, all right? The only thing you have to understand is there's no true flat defender right now. So this hook to curl player would have to play what I call hook to curl to flat. Okay. So this is part of the video that's a little bit, I know, not 100% accurate, but it is sound enough that as long as we play with this player and play hook to curl to flat and get to the flat late, we should be fine. Okay. We're playing spot drop cover three everywhere else across the field. I did say he's playing mod. He's actually not playing mod right now. He's actually just playing spot drop cover three. I forgot. We're not in match defense. But we could be in match defense and he would play mod, okay? But right now we're just in spot drop cover three. All right. So that's where we are. What I like about this is that we can get the bubble. Anytime we get this bubble, we're going to get that corner coming over and playing man to man. And that's going to be good. And obviously, I'm pretty sure you guys see it. But we can also just press our corner, put him man to man, right? And then we're good as well. So we're in a situation now, we're playing cover three with man to man on the slot, all right? And if they want to run the ball, you feel good about your interior run game with your linebackers playing the run. and you feel good that you have somebody on the bubble 100% of the time. So that's a little bit of the adjustment. All right. So let's take this a step further now. Okay. Let's take it in the cover three family and let's take this to I'm gonna stay out of cover four just for the length of the video. But let's go into nickel. Okay. So right now I'm actually gonna play three sky. We can also do this out of three seam if you want, but let's just play three sky. And let's go up against a good old 3x1 set. And just taking a quick break, guys, just to tell you about the Patreon. I really appreciate everybody that supports me over there. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee just to support the channel, that's how I'm keeping it. I'm not going to monetize the YouTube channel. I want you guys to watch that with no commercials, and I want to be able to copyright stuff in the future. Okay, but over here, this is where it's it helps support the channel. You get everything that's on the YouTube channel plus a whole lot more. All right, so these guys on this side, there's different things from the coordinator room to the basic membership to the DB room, which needs to catch up to everything else, talking about real life football. Okay. So these guys are looking at certain things that I've been doing. Every scheme that I do, from the 5 hour Jim Schwartz scheme to the 2 hour Wade Phillips scheme, it's there. Today's the last day where you can just jump on real quick, pay a base membership fee, boom, get all this stuff. The links are there for you. A lot of this stuff goes through YouTube. So just go get those links to the videos, keep them, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? You could just do that. And then after that, from this point forward, we're going to just kind of lock it down a little bit so that the links aren't so readily available. But then after that, anybody who's a part of this community, you're going to get videos at least every 2 to 3 days. I'm going to give you guys gameplay videos. And then if you get into the coordinator room, you're going to get a whole lot more than that. Okay. So as I look at it, let me just show you one more thing. So we have the store, the shop here. If you go onto the page and you just want to take a look at just these schemes, right? We got the full 5 hour Jim Schwartz scheme. And then we have the short version, okay, which is 50 minutes. So you can choose whichever one works for your time schedule. And then let me just show you right now the collections and how it's building. Okay, so as we go along, there's obviously a Jim Schwartz scheme, there's the Wade Phillips scheme, but then from there we have videos broken down by topics, so palms, okay, just operations, how things work. We have 7 videos on run defense. We have 3 pretty much full games on a DB school talking about real life football right now and technique. We have the Wade Phillips defense, 11 videos in there, okay? Cover 3 seam, cover 4 quarters. So this is really what I did on my main channel on YouTube for so many years, okay? It's just broken out and done here for everybody to see. And if you're part of the community, you get links to all of this stuff. The coordinators get separate videos on top of the videos that they have here. And the DB school guys get all of the base videos plus the DB school videos, okay? So just want to let you know that's what's going on over in the page. The link will be in the description. Like I said, I appreciate everybody who's willing to support. I really do. And let's keep it moving back into the video. And I think in this playbook right now, is this, yeah, okay, I may not have exactly what I want, but there's some times where you get like bubbles by 3, okay? But in general, let's just talk about the passing game because it's not all about the bubble. But let's just get lined up versus, I'm going to come back to 3x0 in a second. But let's just get lined up versus a play like this, okay? If you come out in man align, you see how right now you have 3 players over 3 on the right-hand side. What they do is they take the free safety and they bring them over to the tight end side, okay? Now, I've actually seen this played out by somebody, and I thought it was kind of interesting to just let this play and not make any changes. Not really the most sound thing to have this player working back to the left side of the field. Let me just show you what it looks like. He's going to kind of just slide back across the field. It's only good if you get like a crossing route or a shallow route, and it almost looks like he was playing man to man. But that kind of defeats the purpose, all right? What we're going to do is take this player here, who's really kind of like an extra player right now, and give him a man assignment, all right? I don't think we're going to get bubble out of this formation based off the splits and that number 3 is on the line of scrimmage. So the other thing you got to think about in the Madden world is number 2 running some sort of seam route against cover 3. This is probably one of the most popular type of routes that people would like to run if you're playing spot drop cover 3 or even seam cover 3. because seam cover 3 does not match up with number 3. So this gives me an extra player to help out against potentially a very good slot. And we're going to play spot drop cover 3. Again, you're going to say, Coach, well, you're not sound. There's no flat player on the left side. Well, there's the adjustment that I told you where you're going to user this player and we're going to play hook to curl, and then we're going to put a right underneath curl flat. So you have to play all of the hook, all of the curl, and react to the flat. So yes, you are at a slight disadvantage, okay? Okay, so you understand 3 sky, and then if we do play 3 seam, it actually will check into, it would play out just like 3 sky. All right, so 3 sky and 3 seam will play the same. You won't get your seam rules on the backside here. Why? Because you don't have an actual seam flat player. And that's something I've talked about in my Patreon in more detail about why whoever your flat defenders control everything of what's going on with the seam players in cover 3. So this player here being the bonus gives you a little bit of a extra coverage guy that you can do whatever you want. I mean, you can get funky here. You can put this guy into whatever is allowed. You could put him into a curl flat, and you could put this guy into a hard flat. All right. So you can get a kind of like a Mabel type of coverage if you want. Right. I prefer to honestly just leave it alone and just play curl flat and have this guy man up, probably like one of the most threats that you are scared of. Okay. And it's going to make more sense when we get into 3x1 nub. But taking away that slot route there, or a really good tight end like I have right here, Kittle, and I just put a guy on him, what it does is it really confuses people. I have cut-ups of this where they feel like it's man-to-man because of the look. And the next thing you know, they have routes. I mean, they have guys playing zone. So they kind of lock in on one player and then they just assume that the other player is wide ass open. And there'll be somebody usually in the flat or the hook just sitting there waiting for them. So it's kind of a bait. All right. Now let's talk about the last formation, and probably the most important formation. It's been kind of talked about a lot recently on YouTube from our sim people. It's just going up against a good old trips from trade formation, 3x1 nub. All right. I'm going to go up against the classic RPO bubble, and I'm going to call any cover 3. I'm going to call cover 3 sky press, nickel wide. Okay. So here we get again our safety. Actually, our corner comes over in this one. All right. So sometimes it'll be the safety, sometimes it'll be the corner. I do believe the corner will come over if the tight end is in line like that. But if the tight end was flexed out, standing up like a receiver, about 2 yards wide, it could be the safety coming over. Okay. But at the end of the day, we're going to end up doing what we want to do. We're going to end up manning up the inside guy, right? And doing very similar to what we just talked about on the other side of the field of playing some sort of just cover 3 on this side, left side, strong side, manning up the potential of a bubble player, okay, and going from there. Now, the hard part is also making that second adjustment. Now, you can kind of let this thing ride out and you could do a number of different things. You can just quickly man up if you want this guy, and then you man up the running back and just play man to man. That's a very sound way of playing it. Or we can use our new adjustment we just talked about. We could just put this guy and put our safety into deep half zone and then require our user to play hook to curl to flat. Okay. Now, if the back was to flare out real quick, and I've kind of worked through these type of problems already, you're kind of in a position where you have to go cover them. You can't really wait to sit there in the hook. Okay. So if we got a route combination, this is actually a run, but if we got a route combination where the back was going out to the flat, most of the time the tight end's going to be working a corner or just a streak route of some sort. All right, you don't have to really worry about the tight end. You're just going to work through the tight end's route and just go get that back right now. You can't really wait. So that's the only time you have to kind of go get them. That's why I was saying man to man might be better. All right, we have 2 players for there too. You have to understand we're pulling away a player from one side to the other. It can't be a perfect world. Okay. Um, Another thing, if you don't want a user here, just deep half and then just go with the full flat responsibility. Understanding that, he's going to be a little late to the flat, but at least you feel pretty good about this. So this is one of the adjustments that I've been using a lot this year, and it's been working out pretty well. And anytime I get somebody who wants to come out and trade, trips nub and throw bubbles all day, I'm not worried about it. So now I can focus on the run. I can focus on my run defense. I could do whatever I like to do over here, knowing that we're good. Okay. So if it's a passing down and I'm not really worried about the bubble, I'm probably going to take this guy, take this inside corner and man him up on number 2 so he could take away the seam route. So that's my thought process right now. Now, if you guys have any like further thought processes and how you want to do it, just let me know. I also do this with corners. I mean, with quarters coverage as well. But that's a little bit different. I could talk about that in another video if you guys want me to. But I wanted to introduce you to the mana line and how it works. Okay. Um, just one cool thing. Let me just kind of. I know there are some people out here that do this. I'm in mana line, right? And let me just do what I think some people are going to start doing more often. If I can just do it quickly. Yeah, let's do this. They're going to come out in 2x2 and they're going to start motioning over to this formation, trying to get people out of whack, right? But what happens when you do that? The corner comes running over. So if you're in man line, they have no idea that you're not in man. They probably think you're in man right now. And we are in a semi man. We're kind of cheating with this guy playing man, but everybody else is still playing zone. So that's the beauty of coming out in corners over. Going back to the same idea, if we had a slot formation, right, and a team wants to test us for motion, as long as we have our auto alignment on man, we're in cover 3 sky, okay, or you can go cover 3 match. That's fine too. That's not just sky, but they want to come out in slot formation. I do this on offense myself and then motion over to pro. Well, the corner's going to go running over, and if you've been a man team like you've been, like I've been a lot this year, they have no idea if you're in man or zone. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I know that was a pretty long video, but I wanted to just show you that 3 different ways to do it. Try to get yourself some better disguise if you're a single high player like myself. A lot. I play a lot of single high on first and second down, and I use my match quarter split safety coverages more in passing situations. But in general, this is one way of many, like I had talked about. We're going to start showing you some more ways to play single high defense and give you some answers to stop some of the stuff that you see a lot. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.